Peace family. So I'm back with another one, you know what I'm saying? So today what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk about how the enemy will never acknowledge anything that you do to prosper or to raise this motherfucking frequency or just to change your life in general, you know what I'm saying? And what brings me to this subject today is I just had like a little communication with one of my siblings, and it kind of just made me want to break down the whole situation that was transpiring at the time. The energy up in him has started to show what has been being bottled up. So it was like some words was exchanged small over a game, which I'm a competitive person when it comes to anything sports related or anything comes to competition. I'm a male, it's what the fuck I do. But everything spewed out at this one time. It was kind of like everything from I ain't doing shit from here to everything I've been doing building either with my mini or outside in my real lifetime, to as far as, you know, just getting to a space to where I can relay this knowledge and information back that I spend a lot of time researching and learning myself, and also diving deep and being able to make my situations relatable to what I'm trying to discuss. So I wasn't doing any of this, right? So he decides to take it to this place to himself where he wants to put out there, okay, well, you ain't doing shit with YouTube. And I was just thinking to myself, like, damn, like, YouTube wasn't even the whole thing for me. This is like a small portion and a piece to what's gonna be grander to come. He already seen my progress. I've been doing the beat since 2015. But then on top of that, he threw out a remark about the beat saying, that's why my beat's trash, that's why he ain't never really want to get him on him like that or whatever. And when he went into this spew of dropping all of this shit out there, right? How he been feeling this whole time, but he could have been disgusted and talked it out with me, but I know that's not how these beings work. They try to use these things as a weapon. So then he went back to saying, oh, I'm just letting them spew this shit, right? I'm just letting them spew it. Went back to saying how he has more cash money than me. He can put his money against my money. And I'm thinking to myself, do you not see what the fuck I do? I'm way more spiritually grounded. I take care of everything around me and everyone around me, and I'm still helping others. You think I'm concerned with these fucking funds? I done had promotion marketers from Nike and all kind of motherfuckers that want to do sponsorship on my channel. I'm like, nah, I could be out here wearing big brands and doing all that shit. I rock my crystals and my regular jewelry, and all my jewelers and everybody that I get merch from is down below in the descriptions, and nobody is huge. You know what I'm saying? It's been my mans who've been locked for 22 years. His book that, thank y'all, you know, for the ones who have been purchasing the book. He'll be home soon. But that's his book at the end of my video. I have a lot of shit and a lot of beings attached to this that didn't ask to be attached to this. You know what I'm saying? They just always been 100 and organic with me. So for me, that's just how I return the love back. You know what I'm saying? But when he was saying all this shit, I could tell that it was a lot of anger and animosity in between there. And I could see why 1 was going to 2 and 2 was going to 3. You know what I'm saying? So when you dealing with situations and you trying to make them a little bit more subtle or a little bit more easier just on you and your spirit, and trying to correlate something together between you and your siblings, your spouse, whoever your situation is with, you know what I'm saying? One way you can tell always which team they on and which side they're leaning towards is if they don't have shit to talk about as far as moving forward in future plans, but they down you for your shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has to agree with what the fuck you doing, but it's no reason for you to want to be low vibrational. You know what I'm saying? And the bulk of this, and I bring this all to the table because we still all out here communicating, operating with people in these entities. You know what I'm saying? And when you put your energy out there to these low vibrational beings who you know is not really operating or trying to go anywhere or do anything, you have to remember to not take offense to the shit being spewed out. You have to remember to not take offense to the shit being spewed out. You know the amount of blood, sweat, and tears you put into doing what the fuck it is you do. You know what I'm saying? And this all stemmed from, and we could say, like, when I communicate with people, and when we communicate with people, I feel like I wasted a lot of, I ain't gonna say wasted, I felt like I did a lot of learning and growing in my past experience and years. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, well, I don't want to just kick it and linger and lollygag and just waste time and energy and talk about basketball, football, or the Island Boys or some shit like that. Like, that's not what I want to focus my energy on. So when I communicate with people, I communicate about what the fuck I have going on and what the fuck I plan on doing. So when they don't have anything to communicate about back with, shit is dead. And I do these things sometimes, one, because I'm always looking to collab. If I haven't said it out loud to you in person, then I'm communicating in a way to where I'm basically saying we can do a collaboration of some sort in between there, just build and grow something somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many motherfuckers out here that wants to do the opposite. They not trying to build and grow and do none of these sorts of things. You know what I'm saying? They just only want to communicate on a flat surface. You know what I'm saying? So for me, what I had to learn to do even before that situation, I realized, like, most of us stop communicating with people because the conversations are so low vibrational. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm communicating and I'm trying to communicate or have a conversation with somebody who I know is clearly a low vibrational being, I'm not going to talk down there. I'm going to talk here, and then I'm going to bring it here. If you're communicating here, I might bump down a few steps, and then I'm going to bring it right back up here. It's no reason for us to be having associates, friends, peers, whatever the fuck you want to put on it, and there's nothing you can communicate on as far as building and moving forward or collaborating in some sort. You know what I'm saying? It's no growth in these relationships. And the way I feel is like, y'all motherfuckers ain't never been fucking with me before, so it doesn't fucking matter now how y'all feel or what y'all got to say. That ain't never held me up. Is not gonna stop the flow of the process now. Y'all just gonna have to vibe and chill and watch. You know what I'm saying? That's all you really can do for them in these spaces, but they never gonna be able to what's the word I'm looking for? Like, because I don't want to say praise, because it's not really praise. It's just regular acknowledgement. You know what I'm saying? As far as like that, there is nothing that they're going to be able to do that's going to allow them to acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? And when I start getting to these spaces and the communication is going weird like that, because it's always, we always talk about communicating like before situations or rethinking about situations after you communicate, but I like processing the friction when it's fucking happening too, and then I like to figure out what's up with the friction afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just a solutionist. I like solving problems. That's just my whole flow. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, if I had a bigger brother that was doing what the fuck I was doing, I would be figuring out how the fuck can I fuck with him and collab with him. You know what I'm saying? If it's not collabing, it's my bro. What the fuck can I do to help or support? You know what I'm saying? I know you always looking out. I done drove out my way plenty of times for niggas. Ain't nobody ever pulled up down here. I've been in the same spot for 4 years now. None of them. I think my big bro popped in and out like for a split second, and he had one of his female friends with him, so he made sure that it was gonna be a quick in and out, so he didn't have to sit in my space. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of get into a space to figuring out how to communicate that back better is gonna help you with sorting these things out. It's gonna help you in the process. So even if they don't acknowledge, when you're communicating, just realize that you have to place them, you have to label this side or that side. If you don't label, and when you don't label and you sit somebody in the middle and just think that they need help, even though you are the help. If you're the one that you are the help, and they're still being weird and frictiony, then you already know where to put them at. It's no point of dancing around and playing like you confused and don't know where to put them at. It's another way to kind of keep retracting your energy. So that's why when I was thinking about the process, even at the time when it was happening, I just started laughing. I'm like, yo, you got it. Like, you got it. If you just trying to win, like, you got it. Like, what do I have to be mad over? Like, I started doing this whole process because of you. You fucking started slacking and bullshitting and do that low vibrational shit. I done fucking made my fucking, I done started doing remakes, then got Tatiana beat viral, 1.3 million views now on my channel. I done fucking got my camera, which I done invested to. All of this was because behind this low vibrational being that didn't have no energy, no value, that wasn't golden. It wasn't golden. And I clearly just have been shining right past this motherfucker. So communicating with them, and when you are, and if you're still in a space, you just know that you have to be able to know that that shit is not directed at you. When he starts spewing that shit, I knew that shit wasn't directed at me. He has some other kind of situation with our sperm donor, and he already told me before that my sperm donor turned him that I used to play ball with the older kids, like that was 5-6 years older than me. That's always been me. But I can understand that the sperm donor probably told him stories about me to kind of make us do this right here, even though that's not the kind of being I am unless you are op. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't even be tripping over none of that shit either way. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of figuring out new tools and tactics as far as communicating and being aware. Like I had the last video, focusing on your breathing so that way you can and understand that that shit is not being directed at you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to run up too long. Tapping everything down below. Peace to the kings and queens.